Are you struggling with cookie authentication across multiple subdomains in your ASP.NET Core application? You're not alone. Today, we're diving into how to set up cookies for multiple subdomains so your users can stay logged in seamlessly. I totally get it. It can be incredibly frustrating when users have to log in multiple times just because they switched subdomains. This is a common issue for developers working with applications that utilize subdomains. Let's look at the specific question at hand. One user asked, "How can I allow users to be authenticated across all subdomains of my application?" They want to ensure that when a user logs in on one subdomain, they remain logged in on all others. Sound familiar? Let's explore this together. So what's the challenge here? The default cookie settings in ASP.NET Core often require a fixed domain, which doesn't work for applications with multiple subdomains. We need a dynamic solution that adapts to the user's login URL. And stick around. At the end of this video, I'll share a quick tip that will make managing cookies across subdomains even easier. To begin solving this issue, the user needs to modify the cookie settings in the ASP.NET Core identity configuration. This involves accessing the startup.cs file. Next, the user should set up the cookie authentication options. This is where the cookie domain will be dynamically set based on the request's host. Now the user needs to implement a method to dynamically set the cookie domain. This can be done by accessing the request's host during the login process. Finally, the user should test the implementation by logging in through different subdomains and verifying that the cookie is accessible across them. Fun fact: did you know that cookies were invented in 1994? They were originally created to help websites remember user preferences. Now, they play a crucial role in authentication. Now let's look at the answers provided by other users. An alternative solution provided by another user involves using the iCookie and iCookie Manager interfaces. The iCookie interface acts as an abstraction layer over HTTP cookies, enhancing data security. Meanwhile, the iCookie Manager extends this functionality, allowing for generic support and additional behaviors. To implement this solution, you should add the Cookie Manager in the Startup Configure Services, access the Cookie Manager API, and you can find the source code on GitHub by Nemi Chand. Let's take a look at an answer from another user. An alternative approach suggested by another user involves adding multiple cookie authentication options for each main domain. If you have a limited number of main domains, you can set up the cookie domain for each one individually. However, if there are too many main domains, the user suggests creating a custom cookie provider to handle the dynamic cookie domain setting. That's all for that response. Let's see what someone else had to say. An alternative solution provided by another user involves handling the delete cookie event. They suggest adding options .domain and using a function to remove the subdomain from the request host. This should be done before calling the delete cookie method. Additionally, they remind us to call the delete cookie method during logout. If you want to log in on both subdomain and main domain, you will need to modify the append response cookie method to avoid issues with only getting the top-level domain. Here's the tip I promised. Always test your cookie settings across different subdomains to ensure everything works as expected. This can save you a lot of headaches down the line. And there you have it. With these steps, your users can enjoy a seamless experience across all subdomains. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe for more tips and tricks on ASP.NET Core development.